Okay, so in this lesson what we're going to do is we are going to demonstrate how to use Earsketch in a couple of ways. So I'm just going to type in Earsketch and see what comes up. And here's the link, so I'm going to go to Earsketch and then I'm going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to load Earsketch. And it'll take a little while because it's loading a lot of sound samples, and because I want to start with a pretty clean screen. You should have something like this displayed on your screen. There may be some other things, but all of it can be controlled over here on the left with these buttons. So if I want to see the curriculum, I would click on that and then it would be able to come in or go out based upon if I'm clicking on that one. This is the console, and so the console is this window down here where you'll get some messages and some output from your program. So that's a useful thing to know. The console is down at the bottom. The workstation is this top window up here. It's the digital audio workstation, and so that's where you're going to see your music when you create it. And then there are some other buttons over here that you can click. But before we do any of that, first let's try and creating a new script. So this is a very handy little link, and so we'll create a new script, and we're going to call this CIS 1033 demo script, or let's call it demo song there. Demo song. This is a Python program, and so that's going to work very well and go along with our class really pretty well. You'll notice that down here we now have some code that we can look at. So the Python code here, I think we called this CIS 1033 demo song.py. The author is me, and the description is a simple song to show how to get started in Earsketch. You're going to have a lot of fun with this, so we want to go ahead and get rolling on it pretty quickly. So this is what we get. Now what's going to happen is all of this code that you see here is given to you, and it's sort of default code to get started. What we're going to do is write our code in this little space, and then if we need more lines, we'll just hit the return key and we'll get some more lines available to us. So how do you get started with this? Well, the first thing is you want to listen to some music and see if there's anything that you like. So this top button up here in the top left hand corner, this is the sound browser button, and when you click on it, it will give you a list of literally hundreds, maybe thousands of sound samples. Now I happen to like acoustic sound samples, but there's all kinds of different ones here. So you can kind of click on the little green button and listen to them. I kind of like acoustic sounds and acoustic guitar, so I'm going to see if I can come up with something that might sound kind of acoustic. So I'm going to search for acoustic, and I think, here's some acoustic piano things, and here's some acoustic nylon strings. And there's going to be some additional listings here. I kind of like this one. So this is RD R&B Acoustic Nylon String 6. That is a constant, and so this name will always refer to that sound sample. And so I have to create a variable. And so I'm going to say that my guitar is going to be assigned the value of, and then this is pretty important because we're going to click on this button right here. This is the copy button, so we're going to click on that. And so now I've copied that constant value to this variable. And so the next thing I want to do is create a call to a function called fitMedia. And the fitMedia function takes 4 arguments. First, it takes a variable. It also takes a track. It takes a measure, and it takes another measure. The first measure is where I start, and the second measure is where I end. And so there are 4 arguments. Here is the variable that we're going to use to give some music to this fit media call. This is the track. This is the starting measure, and this is the ending measure. And so I've really done enough to create a song, but I like to keep things formatted well, so I'm going to have a line here where I say this is where I'm starting my variables, and then down here I'm going to say this is my function calls. Okay, so we have enough, as I said, to get started. So now we're going to create a song, and so I'm going to hit the run key. And up here, we can now see that we have a complete song of 16 measures in length, and I can play that thing by going up and clicking the play button. So here's the play button, here's the run button, or the run link. So you have to know those 2 things in order to get your song to play. And so here we go, we've hit run, so now I'm going to hit play, and let's hear what it sounds like. Okay, so you can see that that works pretty well. Now, one of the things you're going to want to do also is get some drum parts. I kind of like the drum parts that are available in the genres of cinematic score. And so, this is very sensitive to what you have typed in up here. So it's looking for acoustic drum parts, and it's not going to find any, so I have to clear that window out. And so now here we go, and so we can listen to some of these drum parts. Okay, so there's just a nice steady hi-hat, and so I'm going to create a variable called hat, and I'm going to assign it that constant value, and then I'm going to create a second fit media call with the hi-hat, and I'm going to say start that hi-hat on measure 3, and let's go from track 2 rather. The second argument is the track, and then start it on 3 and go to 16. And so we'll see how this works. I'm going to hit the run key, and so now I have 2 tracks, and if we back it up to the beginning, it sounds like this. Okay, so you can see that kind of adds a little bit, and so now we might want another drum. That would be kind of nice if I had let's see, I've looked through this before, and I think that there's kind of a nice one here on this one. Oh, that'll be kind of a nice syncopated beat. So let's try the drum, and let's give it that one, and then we have to do our fit media call. This will be for the drum. It's going to be on track 3, and it'll start on measure 5 and go to 16. So we hit run, and now we have 3 tracks of music, kind of layered one on top of the other, and it kind of sounds like this. Okay, so we see with really very little effort, we get kind of a fun little song, and it's kind of neat to play with, and it gives us some practice using Earsketch to create a song. So I hope that you've gotten quite a bit out of this. Oh, I did forget to mention one other thing. I am logged in, and before you can create songs, you will have to create an account with Earsketch, but it is free. So when you create that account, do that first, and then all of these other things that I've shown you will be available. So I would encourage you to go out and practice that a little bit.